más sabrosa. Es muy fácil de preparar. Solo agrega agua al tiempo y obtendrás tortillas con todo el sabor al maíz de tu tierra.
Without giving away too many secrets, I'd like to know the process you take of putting together a starting 11 and your entire 18. How much you took your assistants, push and pull, how much do you think of by yourself?
No, I mean that's just a normal process for us coaches, to go through those discussions to name the roster, the 23-man roster for these 10 days. Also, obviously addressing, some things in the back of your mind with the yellow cards. What happens if we have a bunch of players at home on standby? They know they might get the call on Friday night. Based on what happens, based on the positions. We tried over the last 2 years to double the positions as much as we can, even go deeper with our pool, which helped us this year with the Gold Cup to see some different elements. And I think we're doing better and better to get a real competition now going on almost every spot in the team. And now we know which players are kind of set right now, but they also know that no matter what, they're challenged every time we get together. So we feel confident now with that group of players, even with the players that are at home right now, that 50-50 decisions, this guy or that guy. I think this is an ongoing process. Goes until tomorrow night to who are the starting 11. We want to see today Josie where he's at. For example, so we always constantly, and we tell that the players, we evaluate them in every training session. We want to see the attitude. We want to see, are you taking the adjustment to that country, different circumstances, and all that stuff. And that's a saying as well.
How far in advance would you wait until you figure out your starting 11 for, let's say, tomorrow's game?
Obviously, once you have the 23-man roster and you observe them over the weekend now before we get together, we have a pretty clear picture of how we want to do it. But then we are not 100% deciding it yet, because we want to see the training sessions. We want to see how they also interact, how the chemistry of the group is, and so we take our time. We have those talks tonight again. If we confirm what we already kind of think, or if we maybe do a switch or two. So it's an ongoing discussion.
You faced Costa Rica a few times this year, and last time you faced them, they were very defensive-minded, bunkered in. Obviously, they're at home this time. What do you expect from them as far as an approach? Do you think it's going to be a very different game than the last 2 games you faced against them?
Well, obviously, it's difficult to say. We will show the team, obviously, some images and different kind of formations they bring out. Last 2 games they played with a back 5 line. I think they have a lot of respect for us now. We build that respect, if he would come out with a more 4-4-1-1 or 4-4-2, more a bit of an attacking-minded version, we would be happy about that. Obviously, with a back 5 line, it shows okay, they have a lot of respect. If it's that Josie, if it's Clint and all the guys that we have up front, that they think about, then okay, but then they want to counter-break you. They want to hit you with a set piece, which they almost did in the Gold Cup. When our goal kind of developed, then it was they hit the crossbar in that moment. It could have been a goal as well. No matter what, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very physical. It's going to be intense, and we need to adjust to it. But if they go the more defensive route again, then so be it. We go hopefully with the right plan in there, and if we have the discipline and the focus and we have the quality, definitely, then we are hopeful for good results.
It's safe to say you're not going to go in defensive, because obviously road qualifiers in the past, teams might want to be a little more defensive-minded just because of expecting the onslaught from the home team. It sounds like you don't think that's going to be your approach.
No, I think what we are doing since 3 years. We're trying to push up the back line. We're trying to kind of play quickly through midfield if possible. We're trying to kind of move the whole thing more into their half and keep them away from our goal. If you sit back against a team like that and they send the long balls into Saborio, and and you know, Brian Ruiz is sniffing around and wants to get the rebound to Barrantes and all these guys, then you have definitely far more problems, you know. So we'll play our game, you know. We will try to kind of take our game to them and see, you know, what they want to do with that, you know. But I think we are now having the confidence to do that even away from home. It doesn't mean that you necessarily always win, you know, get the result, but I think from a style of play, that's what we're working on. We always said that, and that's what we're going to do also tomorrow night.
Jaime, Jurgen, you mentioned it's, you know, a difficult environment to play in, and if you happen to be down 1-0, you know, just battle back. How much did being down 2-0 in Bosnia and coming back help for this game?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think that anybody thinks about Bosnia once you step on that field tomorrow night. I mean, it's going to be a great atmosphere. It's going to be loud. It's going to be intense. But I think, you know, that the team realizes over time that, you know, when you work hard, when you kind of just stay focused, when things maybe go wrong, you learn to adjust, you know. From our coaching end, you know, we try to make some adjustment, and when things don't work well, that anything is doable. Anything is possible. You play a game 90 minutes or even longer now, and so there's plenty of time, you know, and I think the team just over time develops more confidence to kind of, to stay tall and kind of not getting intimidated only because you're a goal down in whatever game it is, you know. I mean, even in other friendlies like in France or whatever, we had chances to equalize that in the last 10-15 minutes or whatever that was. So I think it's a process, and we did well over the last 2 years to get to more of a mentality to believe in what you're doing if you work hard. Obviously, if you're ready to give it a real fight, and then, you know, sooner or later you can come back against any team out there.
Jurgen, you've talked about Landon in the past, but 6 or 7 months ago it was all very open-ended and ambiguous with him. I was wondering from then until even just training yesterday, what have you kind of observed from him? And I know over the weekend you mentioned sort of the intriguing challenge of fitting him into this specific group, and I wonder how you see that going.
No, I mean, we are very, very pleased with the whole process that Landon went through now over the last half year. You know, obviously, you know, he made his decision to step away for a while, and then he knew it will take some time to work his way back into our group, and he accepted that, you know, when he wasn't called in, you know, for the World Cup qualifiers in June. And he worked hard, you know, he had a good Gold Cup, and now also in all the training sessions right now, he's working very hard, and that's wonderful to see, you know, and therefore we're very pleased. You know, we didn't know what direction it will go because he didn't know a year ago. So, but that's all okay. I always said, you know, it's his decision. Every player makes his own decisions of what he wants to do, you know, with his life and with his career and where he wants to play and what's his next step. So I just take it the way they decided, and then I give them help, you know, in that process. We're very pleased with how this goes now.
Más sabrosa, es muy fácil de preparar. Solo agrega agua al tiempo y obtendrás tortillas con todo el sabor al maíz de tu tierra.
Oh, it's very important, you know, because his experience is his game is on a very high level, you know, and we all know that, you know, when he's fit, when he's fresh, when he's inspired and looks at things very positively, then he gives you another card to play, which is for us, it's big, you know, and but all those things have to come from his inside, you know, it's not coming from the outside, it's not coming from us or from us coaches or from you guys, you know, it's the players are in the driver's seat. I always tell them that, you know, you decide what you're going to do with your career. You make those calls. I make the calls at the end of the day, you know, how we want to play, which 11 will start, you know, and obviously, you know, I was going to, once hopefully we are qualified, then, you know, what 23 guys will go to Brazil, you know, but the rest, it's all down to them. Yes.
Jurgen, in the past you've started players in positions that they're not playing on their club team. How important is that for you to keep them in the field where they're playing on a club team? And does that calculus change at all on this when you have only a few training days versus the Gold Cup where you have a lot of training days?
No, I mean, that's a general discussion that it is always kind of a compromise that you have to find. You know, there's never the perfect picture for us coaches. You know, if players play in different positions, we believe that, you know, he could be very, very good in that position, and it's just coaches looking at it differently or having different players at their disposal in their clubs. So that's why they play him somewhere else. What we're trying to do is we try to make the best for us as a group, as a team, moving forward. That's why I see Brad Evans as a very, very strong contender for the right back position, because I think he'd play that enormously well and has done that. And so be it sometimes in other positions. You have a Jeff Cameron that can play a very, very strong center back role, which I think is his number 1 spot, and then a number 6 role as well. Like he proved in Panama tremendously well, and he's playing right back at Stoke City. So I have to take it the way it is. I'm not changing Stoke City. Mark Hughes makes his decisions. So we make the best out of it, and here and there, yeah, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. So we'll take it away.
Last one is Peter.
Jurgen, what is Graham's Uzi status? Is he 100%?
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry, Kevin, you want one more?
Yeah, I know you've talked about the chance to win here for the first time as kind of a motivational tool. Can you talk about the streak that you're on at the moment internally? Do you use that as well at all in any way?
No, that's not even discussed. We know how difficult it will be, tomorrow night. So we wanna give it a real shot, and we are very focused and we are ready for it. But then you don't know what to expect. Whatever happens, happens. No, nobody looks at that winning streak right now. We want to do well tomorrow night. If we get the 3 points, it would be fantastic. If it's at the end of the day after a good battle and a good game or a tie, we'll take that one as well. But I think it's good timing.
Thanks, everybody. So we're going to move 2 doors down and start for the roundtables in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Thank you.